Hi guys, welcome to another video from Overbite Gaming, and today we're going to be taking a look at WWE 2K24. Obviously the newest in the long line of WWE 2K games, and it's almost getting a little bit redundant. They did take like a year off. I think it was between 22 and 23 or 21 and 22, something like that. And when they came back, the game was massively improved because the last one was a bit of a shit show, and still is too, as far as I can tell. It hasn't been fixed, hasn't been patched properly. Just buy the next one instead, because that's better. And that was the result of them just cranking one out per year and not really sort of improving too much on it. And it just got to be the point where the team were probably bored doing it. Fuck it, just stick it out with terrible fucking My Rise storylines and shit. We'll sell it on the face of whatever superstars going in showcase mode. It'd be fine. And I'm starting to worry it's going to be a little bit like that, because so far we've had three games in the sort of revamped version of it, and now don't get me wrong, each are better than the last, and this one is as well, but it's really incremental. So the big difference is obviously you have different showcase, you have new My Rise stories, and we've got a few more match types in there, which I think are ambulance, special guest referee, casket, and there's another one, but I can't remember it, so fuck it. But all those match types are ones we've seen in previous games, maybe not from 2K, but certainly previous WWE games. So it just feels like features that weren't put in are now being put in. So it's hard to feel sort of fair paying $60-70 for it, and then being getting what should have already been in there, really. The showcase mode this year is all about WrestleMania. I don't know, I do like it because, you know, I was following wrestling back in the early 90s, so it does sort of cover a lot of the WrestleMania matches throughout. Although there's 40 WrestleManias to pick from, they've included 21 matches. And what you do is you go through, you have a little intro from Cody Rhodes or Corey Graves, and then you'll get a video roll of promoing the match, and you'll go and do the match, and during the match there'll be actions you have to do. Now I will give them credit this time. Whenever there's an action you need to do, they will put what buttons you need to press up on the screen, because quite often there are actions you won't really do generally during gameplay. So, you know, like removing the turnbuckle. I mean, I've never done that in a match unless I needed to, and in this you need to. So it's nice that they give you the button combos for doing that, rather than having to press pause and going in and checking the objectives and finding it that way. Now they're still doing this thing where you're wrestling, and then you'll enter a cutscene, and the cutscene will morph into the live video from the event, which is going to make this a fucking nightmare to edit, because I'm going to have to take all that out. So thank you, WWE and 2K.
Hey, Carly.
That makes my life far harder. It is done well in the fact that, you know, it goes pretty seamlessly from cutscene to video.
You seem like yourself. Not very,
I don't know if it needs to be there.
psycho.
I mean, it just seems like a way of
Honestly,
dragging out the match a little bit, and there are a lot of objectives this time. I mean, we're talking possibly over a dozen per match. So there's a lot you need to do in each match. So let's have a look at My Rise. There are 2 this week. I think, I'm trying to remember the names of. One's called Unleashed. That's the female creator wrestler one, where you are the captain. I know it's cringe. Of a wrestling foundation. I think it's BDA, I think, something like that. BWA? Whatever. I'm really not interested enough to remember, so whatever. And it's a hardcore federation, and you get brought in and you try and do your things your own way and all that. And the other one is the male one, and you basically win the title, and you've got to step out of Roman Reigns' shadow. You do know he's only that dominant because he's booked that way, right? there's no real shadow to step out of. It's just the way you write him.
Can't let what Cap did get in your head.
But, you know, whatever.
Listen, we both Psycho Sally.
So those are the two My Rises. They're not as cringy as some I've seen, to be fair.
Actually,
I mean, there's this quite nice bit where in the female one where you get to pick like from a set number of superstars, and you have a little storyline with them, and one of them's like unleashing your brutality with like Rhea sort of teaching you the art of brutality. It's kind of dumb, but kind of fun at the same time. I mean, a lot of that can be sort of this game can be sort of attributed to dumb but fun. They have made an effort to make some of the sort of mid-carders and below look a bit better this year, because previously there was a huge delineation between like top sort of main event superstars and the rest of the roster, where they sort of got like 5 minutes and like they spent about 50 hours on each sort of dimple in Roman Reigns' ass. I haven't been counting, I promise. But this year they seem to have expanded that a bit more, and there are a lot more wrestlers that actually look pretty good, including obviously the AAA ones still look good. I mean, it is a good looking game, but like as the models get more concentration, I kind of feel like the arena's lagging behind a little bit. I mean, they don't look ugly or anything, and they just look the same every year, so maybe get a bit more of that. You get all the modes we had previously, so My GM, Universe, and of course My Faction. So My Faction is the card pack thing where you get wrestlers and buffs and managers and your card packs, and you use them to go through challenges or fight online with them. Now, you don't have to spend money. You can spend money, but you don't have to. And I think as a mode, it's perfectly enjoyable to play it without spending money, especially as you get like random wrestlers. So like a wrestler you may never pick to play in like any other game mode, you might have to play here, and then you know you might enjoy playing him and then be like, oh, okay, I got a new favourite. Excellent. Who would have guessed that Roman Reigns with like damn near 100 straight stats is going to be my favourite for smashing people? Weird that. So yeah, there's not a huge amount to say about it really, because I mean, they've added a few bits to My GMs. You can have the in-ring stuff is improved as well. I probably should touch on the actual gameplay. So what you've got now is you've got super finishers. Ooh. Which is basically if you have all 3 finisher icons lit, you can do a super finisher instead. And there you go. So I basically did my finisher move but off of the top rope. So there's that. Because it just popped up. I was like, what the fuck is that? And I used it. So there you go. They have also increased the amount of weaponry that you can use. So you can use smaller stuff like microphones, things like that to bop people with. It's made pretty clear in My Rise. You can also set tables on fire. I can't remember if you did that before, to be perfectly honest, but I didn't, so I'm assuming you can't. But that
wow.
That also comes into the most annoying part that I found so far, is the very first match in the Unleashed My Rise is a complete ball ache. You've got to set up a table, set it on fire, and then put your opponent through it. Now that sounds okay, that sounds easy, right? No, it's not fucking easy. The reason it's not fucking easy is to set the table on fire requires you to expend a finisher. Okay, that's fine. So I get the table, I set up the finisher, I'm fighting this woman that's this giant woman that must be about 400 pounds with a big fat arse. I know that's not very PC, but it is a big fat arse. So I set up the table, I set up the fucking fire, use for finisher. Hey, here we go. Oh, she's reversed it. Oh, she's wandered into it and knocked over with her big fat lardy arse. I honestly spent about a half hour trying to get past this fucking match. I've used my finisher. She's knocked over the table. The table's gone out. I have to get another finisher. Now I have to put it up there. Stop it! And then you actually get her against the table. You try and do it. And she fucking reverses you, the bitch. Oh, I was not happy. You could probably tell. But yeah, I eventually got by it with struggle, as I say. I'm not even playing like hard or anything. You know, she was just hit it with her fucking arse all the time and knocking it over. I was just like, you bloody clumsy cow. Oh. I probably just peaked all of the voice recording there, but whatever. You'll survive if you don't have it up too high and probably not wear microphones, maybe. So yeah, that was frustrating. The creation mode is, well, it's a creation mode. You can create signs this time. I think that's new. Creating signs. I mean, it's all so similar. It's really difficult to like figure out what's actually new, because you look at it and you go, was that last year? Was that a game I played 10 years ago? I don't know. It's just because the problem is it's never been like full featured. Like if you look at some of like SmackDown vs Raw games or stuff like that, you know, and they've got all this stuff that's just not in this one. Endurance, that is the other match type. No, Gauntlet, not Endurance. It's not Endurance, it's not Slobber Knocker, it's Gauntlet this time. I'm sure it's Gauntlet, it's fine. Which obviously speaks for itself, surviving match, blah. Now, all that being said, am I enjoying play? Yes, I am. The gameplay is just as good as the last two ones. It's probably the best one in terms of if I weren't to buy it, having not bought any of the others, would I buy any of the others over this? No, I would not. I would buy this. That would be my recommendation. Is it worth $60 or $70 for just the minor upgrades that have been made? Probably not, but you know, as always, it depends on you. If you're happy to throw $70 down for the new showcase and my rise modes, and or maybe if you play online a lot with your friends on my faction, stuff like that, or you know, just want the roster update, which is fine, I suppose. I mean, FIFA do it every year as well, so well, it's not FIFA, it's FC something. We lost the FIFA license in there, but you know what I mean. So if you know, if you don't mind outlaying that money for what's essentially a roster update and a few little improvements here and there, with the two, what I would say main modes being, you know, having new stories based on them. Yeah, you know, I wouldn't hold it against you. I don't hold it against me, because I did exactly that, even though I was intending to review it as well. So yeah, that's my review of 2K24. Good, but I wouldn't really say essential. I mean, I really want them to go and do something like, I think they should do it every 2 years. That's my honest opinion, because when they did it last time, we had significant improvements across the board. Okay, they weren't coming from a great place, but you could see the improvements and you were like, damn, okay, I'm back on board now, well done, fellas. And it just feels like maybe I should just, I mean, I do that with FIFA now as well. I did until I got like Ultimate Game Pass, and that includes like the EA thing. So I don't need to wait anymore, but I used to like buy FIFA once every 2 years, because like, what the fuck is the point of buying it every year? Not really. I mean, I like playing from a lower division, working my way up as like a player manager kind of thing, or like the Superstar one they do now? I can't remember. Whatever. But you know, I wouldn't even get like to the first division by the time the new one come out, so I'd be like, fuck that, I'm getting that. So it's kind of like that, but I mean, if you like Cody Rhodes, you probably should get it, because they definitely like Cody Rhodes. He's all over the place. It's Cody Rhodes the game. If you like Cody Rhodes, I know most people do. I kind of do. You know, I don't really track from like him being like mid card and now he's come back and he's like uber talent. That doesn't make sense to me so much, but I know like they did that because obviously he made his boots in AEW. I suppose the question is, would I buy this in preference to AEW Fight Forever? Yeah, absolutely would. AEW Fight Forever is kind of like this, but like 1,500 iterations previous. It's just so bare bones and not full featured at all. The only good thing about it is the in-ring stuff. That stuff I like, the actual control system, because it strokes my nostalgia bone, such as it is, and reminds me of the N64 THQ, you know, Aki games, which were some of my favourite wrestling games and still are, and I still play them. I bought an N64 just to play them. Okay, I bought others as well, but you know me. So I like the in-ring stuff, but everything else is just bare. Even the career mode, it's like when you're you're visiting places and it's literally just a 2D image that they've stretched. They haven't even bothered to sort of give you a cutscene with it or anything like that. It's just like your wrestling model with like somebody else in front of a picture. It's trash. And like, cut out the minigames. I don't want to play fucking minigames. I don't know anything about AEW. Why do I want to take a quiz? I just want to get in there and hit someone in the head, and your fucking Dynamite Deathmatch looks ridiculous, as it did in real life, so that's not a shocker, is it? I feel like I'm going off on a tangent and should probably end here. If you want to hear me talk about AEW, probably in a slightly better light, because I was still enjoying it back then, check out my review of it. So there you go. But that's WWE 2K24. Probably the best they've done, but not massively better than the previous one. So if you've got that, maybe pick it up when it's on sale. Maybe pick it up when you've got some disposable income and, you know, don't have to pay bills and shit. I'd go with that. Anyway, guys, that's all from me. Take it easy, and I'll catch you next time.